More than 1,500 years ago, people living in what is now Peru transformed an enormous desert landscape. They created hummingbirds, monkeys, spiders, geometric shapes, and straight lines stretching astonishing distances across the desert. Today we call them the Nazca Lines, and more than 1,000 years after many of them were created, we're still asking why. From the air, the figures can look almost impossible. Some extend across enormous areas of desert, but their construction didn't require mysterious technology. The builders used something surprisingly simple. The desert surface is covered with darker stones. By moving those stones aside, ancient people exposed the lighter ground underneath. Carefully planned paths of exposed earth became enormous designs, and the extremely dry environment helped many of them survive for centuries. The broader geoglyph tradition developed across generations. Some designs were created before the height of the Nazca culture, while many of the most famous figures are associated with the Nazca period. But understanding how they were made is easier than answering another question. Why? Some researchers have connected the geoglyphs with ritual activity. Certain lines may have functioned as pathways used during ceremonies. Water may also have played an important role in the symbolic landscape of people living in one of the driest environments on Earth. Other researchers have investigated astronomical connections, and different geoglyphs may have served different purposes at different times. What archaeologists don't need to explain them is aliens. The idea that the Nazca Lines were landing strips for extraterrestrial spacecraft became enormously popular in modern culture. But there is no archaeological evidence that aliens created them, and ancient people didn't need airplanes to lay out enormous designs. With careful planning, stakes, cords, measurements, and human cooperation, large figures can be constructed from the ground. In fact, that's part of what makes the Nazca Lines so extraordinary. They aren't evidence that ancient people couldn't have created them. They're evidence of what ancient people actually could accomplish. And discoveries haven't stopped. Modern surveys and imaging techniques continue to reveal previously undocumented geoglyphs across the region. Some are faint, some are remarkably detailed, and each adds another piece to an enormous cultural landscape created across centuries. We know how people could make the Nazca Lines. We know many of the cultures connected with them, but their complete meaning remains beyond our reach. Were they pathways? Offerings, markers in a sacred landscape, symbols connected with water? Or did different figures mean entirely different things? The people who created them left their marks across the desert. More than 1,000 years later, we're still trying to understand the message. The Nazca Lines of Peru, one of the world's greatest ancient landscapes, created not by visitors from another world, but by remarkable people from this one. Forgotten myth chronicles, history, myth, mystery.